Team Naruto.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. It's second round coverage of the California Classic. Now down to the first, about 445 yards, par 4.
When you first look at this opening tee shot, Rich, it looks like you just hit a nice gentle draw off that right bunker. But the general contours of this terrain here does kick that ball a little left.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it. Oh, that's fine.
Well, this is the kind of wind that separates the great players from the average players. You really have to be strong to handle these kinds of winds. Getting set to play the second shot here at the first hole. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. On the green. And a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie.
Had every chance of going in.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. That's how you maintain momentum, to make those putts for par. Frank, this is a nice-looking hole. Not long, only 371 yards, but challenging in its own way.
It is challenging. The best approach here really is a conservative tee shot to set up an aggressive second.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
All right, eagle. That was close though.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Frank, players had hybrids. Some had irons out off the tee on that short par 4 second. Time to get the big stick out here on the third?
It certainly is. The third hole you play, yeah, 3 totally different looks off the tee. This hole appears straightish off the tee, but well bunkered down the left, which makes you push that tee shot a little to the right. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, what's the best way to get at this hole location here at number 3?
If there's a desired shot pattern, it's a little draw off the tee and a little draw in. And the reason why, if you look at the shape of that green, it's on a 45-degree angle to the left, so it really does suit a shot coming in from the right.
Appears to be tracking well. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
He's made it. Frank, we're not at the beach. We're in the California desert, but I'm staring at plenty of sand right here.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving here. This is where somehow you do have to focus on exactly where they put the flag, and that's on the green stuff. Green is 36 paces deep. If you can just focus on that and don't let Pete Dye's sort of weirdness with all that snaking bunkers left and right, then just try and approach it as a straightforward par 3. I know it's easy to say, hard to do.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Settles in over the putt. Nice solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
So we played our first par 3, now to the first par 5 on this golf course at PGA West. It is the 535-yard 5th hole. Frank, it appears as though it rewards precision off the tee.
And the Bombers, too. You can run out of water at 335 yards. So with the Dustin Johnsons of the world and the Rory McIlroys, that's nearly doable. But if you can't hit it that far, it's quite obvious. You've got to keep it down the right side. And for those people, they put 2 little bunkers there.
This is a good-looking shot. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, Nate Siegel makes everybody else look sort of average, Frank.
And look at the size of that lead on the leaderboard now.
Well, Frank, how about this 255-yard par 3 6th?
Yeah, there's a bit of a bailout area, sort of short and left, but the only thing really going in the player's favour, it is a big green, 51 yards in depth. So if you want to sort of do the maths in reverse, 255, take away 50, 205 front, it doesn't sound as daunting.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. He has a 12-footer here. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Just a little tap in here. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, the 7th is a short par 4, 346 yards. So I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right, and if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down, 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less intimidating.
Setting up for this next approach, our featured player starting to pick it up after that less than stellar start to the round.
But as we know, Rich, golf is such a streaky game. Perhaps now this player can catch fire and put together some good holes in a row.
It has been a ball-striking clinic today, hitting one green after the next. Getting set now over the putt. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. 555-yard par 5 eighth hole. Frank, is this a two-shotter or a three-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Now the approach shot here on this par 5 eighth.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Birdie try again here today. Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Frank, the ninth hole at 452 yards with that water down the right is really a test of a player's driving ability, isn't it?
It is, and his ability to sort of take the shot on. Ideally, just something with a little bit of a fade, unless you can carry the ball 300 yards, then you can get it just past that bunker. But when you look at this hole, notice how that fairway just starts to open up. So Pete Dye will reward an aggressive tee shot, but also he'll punish it if it's wayward. Rich, that was a heat-seeking missile. That is out there.
And they make it look so easy, and we know it isn't, but when you hit tee balls that long and that straight, it does make the game kind of simple. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Wow, I thought it was going in just off the mark by a fraction. So just a formality here. Good putt. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
This, the second shot here at the par 4. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. Ten-foot putt left. Good job right there, now making a move and setting himself up for, who knows, a good weekend run, maybe at another title. The former college standout has been excellent today.
He's gone for a little extra.
And that ball is absolutely scorched, just hit a seed out there.
Long just meant longer.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. And from the fairway for his second shot here. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Count that. That's a birdie. Frank, P. Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. You know, that's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest fairway. Then you've got the longer second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off?
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
It doesn't go in, you got to add another one to the scorecard.
And that's where the golf ball's just staring at you and mocking you and laughing at you.
You know deep down it's smiling too, don't you?
So has the par. Moving on to the next hole, and the lead, Frank, is very much intact. Well, Frank, we came off a hole, the short par 4 12th, where players no doubt were thinking about making birdie. Here, it's a different story. Why?
It is. Well, 13 is always going to be unlucky for some. There's so much water down there on that left side, and the way it sort of laps up to the wooden bulkhead, it looks anything other than a straight shot. And this is where you have to mentally move the flag. You've got to push that flag in your mind's eye to the right side of the green and say, I do not want to go left of that.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. This putt for par. He's made it. Well, Frank, kind of a make-or-break hole here at the 14th, par 4, 389 yards.
Yeah, for the Cavalier player, you can sort of go at this this green in a more direct line. 290 yards will take all this bunker down the right out of play. Just leave you a flick in here. I'm going to say that's not a bad play, really. If you don't do that, then you just got to thread it down the left.
Moving into this second shot here at hole number 14.
This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be.
All right, eagle. That's close
What
though.
a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Well, Frank, we are turning home. It says so on the scorecard here at 15.
It is, and once again, another example of great bunkering by Pete Dye. Bunkers on a lot of golf courses are just simply left and right, but what Pete Dye does, he lets them cut in, especially that one down the left side of the fairway it cuts in, so it has to be avoided, and it's going to be about 280 yards to take it completely out of play. That's probably the best line, is to get it just past that last bunker on the left side.
Frank, what are you thinking on this second shot here at 15?
Well, if mentally you could take out all that bunker complex on the left, this second shot would look extremely straightforward. And that's really the way you've got to play it. You've got to act like those bunkers aren't there on that left side. And therefore you can go straight at this flag.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, this could be an exciting and pivotal point in the round, the par 5 16th.
Especially if the player decides to have a go here. If you're going to take it on a direct line, then you've got to carry all of that bunker complex. But then the other thing to realize, what's the worst thing that can happen? Just in the bunker, right? It's worth a go. Either that, hit it down the right side. There's no way you're going to reach this par 5 and 2.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards.
Second shot.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Continuing to play well, a birdie.
Well, Frank, the most famous island green obviously is TPC Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Pete Dye's creation. People forget this is also an island green here in the California desert.
And it's called Alcatraz. And I've never heard of anyone trying to break into Alcatraz.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. This would be nice. A birdie on the card. See if he can make it.
Well, it was a tricky one, but it's in.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the three bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
Frank, this approach shot seems pretty straightforward. Just don't hit it left.
Yeah, it's a tough second shot. It's that visual. Once again, you've got that green that's angled to the left. But once again, like a few holes out here, you do not have to hit directly at this flag. You are allowed to move that flag mentally 15, even 20 feet to the right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par. That's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with two very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
See Naruto. Over and out. And shout out to this music. Sounds like Iron Man theme music. Sounds like Iron Man's theme music and Avengers Endgame theme music. Shout out to Marvel. Alright, let's get it out. Let's get it. Let's go. Well, alright. Shout out to Disney Plus coming out 2 weeks ago. 2 calendar weeks ago. On November 12, 2019. 17 days ago. So 1 week and 2 weeks and 3 days. Yes, and it's pretty amazing and exciting and pretty fresh. With movies on there like Captain Marvel, my girl Brie Larson, and Avengers Endgame also. Yep. That's I like this theme music. Sounds like Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, and Brie Larson also in that too, Avengers Endgame, and yes, Brie Larson is also in Avengers Endgame. That's Captain Marvel, and all the other amazing things on Disney Plus also. Disney Channel shows, Disney Channel original movies. So amazing, exciting, and pretty fresh. So yeah, shout out to all that. It's perfect. So yes, shout out to Disney Plus. And with all that being said, CBT Naruto. Over and out.